Are we live? Are we boomering? I'm boomering. Hello everybody. It's Brune. It's Wednesday. It's 26th February. Should we get the guests out? You know, let's do this. Okay. First up, the supermod of the YouTube sphere. Everybody, it is Deeply of Sir Melvin.
Hello, my
you all right, mate?
children.
How you doing? You all right?
I got to get my speech ready. You ready?
Yeah. Go.
I am such an awesome guy. I
I
have
make
a
so
giant ding-a-ling.
I make so many
Doing.
videos and dry bum Leslie Headland. It's great to have you on, mate.
I can imagine. I'm an amusing person. It must
Very,
be quite a treat
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, you are.
Great to be.
It's a treat for us all, mate. So, shall we get the next guest out, please?
Go on then. As long as
Okay,
it's somebody good, though, you know the rules.
Well, you know that there isn't. Okay. He makes so many videos. Price. Hello, Price. I've risen.
What's up, guys?
How you do?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Better for seeing you.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Who's our next guest?
Very good. Very good. Oh, it's your buddy. Should we let him on?
Sure.
Today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mind you, if I had a glowing member like that, I'd be doing that daily.
Well, I'm not going to say what that is. It's impressive though, isn't it?
I'm impressed.
Purple as well. Purple as well.
The ladies enjoy it.
What, lit?
Z also enjoys it.
Does he?
In his own way.
Does he? Does he enjoy it? Does he? Anyway, okay.
Z does.
Do a poll.
We are going to do a poll in a bit. It is great to have you on, Prof.
Good to be here.
I almost blanked on your name then. Sorry, I'm not. Mr. Brown apologizes for being an old bastard, everybody. Shall we get the last peep out? There is another, but he's just keeping us waiting. Shall we get the next peep out? I'll give you a clue, everybody.
Well, yes.
Oh.
Pac-Man.
No. Any guesses? Oh. Anybody?
A rug muncher.
Okay, I'll give you another clue. It's shit. Anybody?
Ryan Johnson.
Nearly.
It was Mega Geek. I'm rubbish at these guessing games.
You're right, guys.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, just a bit tired, but hey, I'm here.
Tired of life in general, or tired of just tired?
Of bloody working all day.
Oh, what are you working on?
Just editing. You know, like if you edit too much, your eyes goes all funny and just editing rubbish.
If you watch the TV too long, your eyes go square.
That's what my mum used to say.
Yeah, it's a scientific fact.
It's been an age since Mr. B has done his Jamaican accent. Yeah, man.
Jam cane.
That's why you keep losing subs, Ian, because you keep saying things that YouTube doesn't like.
Do you know, a very what?
Yes, indeed.
What? Yep. What?
Yeah, he died. Yeah,
he had an advanced kidney disease.
Yes. So we've lost two people today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not good. And he was the best out of all of them when he was dealing with Star Trek as well. So he was great.
This is a genuine shock.
It's all over the internet.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
The only one who knew about
Star Trek,
Star Trek, the 2009 version, the only one who knew anything about Star Trek, and they fucking sacked him off.
Sucked him up. Did you say?
Sacked. Sacked.
What?
S-A, not
Yikes.
sucked. Sacked. Oh my God. I'm genuinely, that's a shocker.
Listen, right. I reckon this year we're going to have loads more of the people that we like going. I mean, I'm just waiting for John Williams to go because John Williams, man, he's still fit, but come on. He's like in his 90s, man. When he goes, I'm going to be so sad.
Michelle Trachtenberg, is that young lady you I've seen on the feed this evening?
Yeah, she was in Buffy the
Yep.
Vampire Slayer.
Damn.
Yep, she's a few things.
I think she played. Did she not play Sally in Expector Gadget with Matthew Broderick?
Oh,
Or did
okay.
she? I think she.
No
I think
clue.
she did. Did she not? Oh, I think she did. Yeah.
I remember
Henry Kelly.
Mm. You remember
okay.
in what?
Remember the
You remember him in what? Her in what? Who said that?
Euro Trip. She
Oh,
was
of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, I don't want to sound insensitive, but she was a cutie. She was a wee Barbie.
She died of. She had a liver transplant, didn't she? And it didn't
Yeah.
take. And she died of that. So that's horrible.
She was an Inspector Gadget, yes.
damn.
I remember watching Inspector Gadget. I thought it was quite fun, but a lot of people hated it though. The movie version.
Yeah, never watched it.
I watched it once, but I just didn't feel like it
Oh, that's what it is.
captured the magic of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It was a different thing.
And Matthew Broderick didn't really convince me that he was Inspector Gadget. Somehow that didn't work for me.
No, it didn't. And the only reason why they got him is because they know that the young kids will come in because of him, especially the girls. So that's why they're going. But he's not right for Inspector Gadget at all. He wasn't. So there
Well,
you
at
go.
the time that they brought him, he already wasn't for the young ladies. This wasn't right after Ferris Bueller, you know. If they brought him in those days, maybe some young ladies would come see it. But once he was Inspector Gadget, he had gained some weight and he didn't look very Inspector Gadget-y.
No, he didn't. But you're right, though. But that's Hollywood for you. They're always 10 steps away from what's actually happening. So,
Yeah.
they reckon it's Matthew Broderick. People come and see it because it's Matthew Broderick, not knowing that his
Amazing in
popularity had failed. Do you know what I mean? From that
Godzilla
moment.
98. Hello,
Yes,
swappers.
fine. Yeah.
Hello, chaps.
Hello.
How's
How you
everybody?
doing?
Hello.
All right,
sir.
all right. My Windows update finally finished, so I can allowed to get online. Isn't that nice?
Excellent.
Still using Vista.
Yeah, it's creaking away, but old faithful.
Okay, tough questions here. MGUK84 Ranch, Skeleton Group Part 2. I was going to say that's me. Electric Boogaloo when it's all in the air, mate. It's all in the air.
Skeleton Crew.
We'll do that
no.
about the time we get back to Star Trek.
Star
6.
Trek 6.
Yeah.
You
Hang on,
could.
Skeleton Crew Part 2, isn't that the last 5 minutes of the last episode?
There's about 10 minutes to cover. Yeah.
Sneak it in at the end on Sunday.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we can start covering Andor again properly, and then just start off with the end of Skeleton Crew.
Anybody see the trailer for Andor?
yeah, it looked
Mhm.
absolute shit. And I'm not going to see it. It really did. It's like,
So-
what is that music playing in the trailer? I'm like, this is not Star Wars. What the
So when you're not in for Andor when we cover it, then no.
Absolutely not. You can
Kiss
stuff
my
it, mate.
ass.
You can stuff it, mate. Seriously, I didn't even know how you got through the first season, let alone
Didn't watch
this
it?
one.
You know
I
what?
didn't
This show
watch it.
might be really, really good, yeah, but they've completely tanked anyone. Like a
Hello,
lot of
Justin.
people's interest in this because of the way they presented that trailer.
That trailer looks shit, man. What was that music all about? And then you got this girl grabbing him. I'm like, yeah, typical.
What?
Yeah, you see that in the trailer where the girl grabs him? I'm like, yeah, okay, right. You know where it's going.
If I may, Sly Jester. Once again, I'm at work during a Broom stream. Y'all have fun and enjoy the replay in 8 hours.
See you later, hours.
Thank you, my friend.
Sly.
Even the first season of Andor, they needed to edit that one differently. It was
Yeah.
very slow, even though there were some moments I thought were pretty good in it, but it was extremely slow. And
Yeah.
I don't think that this thing is going to be any different. It probably all it needed to be was 9 episodes instead of 18.
Yeah.
And maybe it would have been okay.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of Disney things now, isn't it? That everything's dragged out unnecessarily. What could have been a concise 2-hour movie, they turn into a 10-hour series filled with crap and filler. We can just spot it a mile away now.
It was badly thought out, wasn't it? I mean, Andor got killed and we've seen him die, so we know exactly where it's going.
Yeah,
We know
Yeah.
he's never going to be in danger at any
There's
time
no
in 2
there's
seasons.
no
'Cause it-
stakes. Yeah.
Right.
What's the
'Cause it-
point? There's no
Well,
stakes.
there's no stakes for him. There's other characters in the show, though.
Is
Right.
Toothy Woman going to be in it?
But do you really care about any? See, on Better Call Saul, they really introduced you to new characters, and you care about them.
Yeah.
In this show, I struggle to remember the name of one other character on this show. I know Andor. He's really
Krennic.
boring, and there was Alex Skarsgård, Stellan Skarsgård, or
Luthien.
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Luthien.
I don't remember the names of any of the other characters.
Krennic.
Just
Don't remember
Andor. And the only character I'm interested in was Adria Arjona because she's hot, and the rest of them can go to hell.
They tried
Yeah,
to
well-
downplay that she looks nice, though. They're like, let's make her look dirty and
Yeah.
shabby.
Oh yes.
Well, I mean, I'll give her a shower and we'll polish her up a little bit.
So she's not mid. Like you rate her.
Oh, she is sizzling hot. She
Do
is.
you know what, right, guys?
Makes your eyeballs twitch.
Welcome
isn't it?
to Misogyny on Mr.
We're never going to
Brown
get back
Alliance.
to that way of filmmaking, because these new people are like, for instance, Zachary Levi. He's talking about he actually made his studio, and they're making films beyond Hollywood, right? But the films they're talking about it's very kind of family orientated and stuff like that. I'm wondering whether we can get back to the diehards where a man was a man and a woman was a
Good luck
woman.
with
Do you
that,
know what I
mate.
mean? I don't think we can get there. Not for a long time. Not for a
Maybe
long time.
never.
Here you go,
Maybe.
folks.
I think we will eventually.
Here you go,
Yeah.
folks. Logically accurate. It's not misogyny if it's true, Broom.
Hmm.
The biggest drawback for me with Andor, and it was prevalent also in the latest trailer, was the fact that Star Wars is all about a galaxy far, far away. It's not about this world, right? So where the fuck are all the non-human characters? Everyone in it's a fucking human. And I look at Star Wars trailer. I want to see fantastical creatures. I want to see, even in the times of the Empire, which this is supposed to be set in, which the original trilogy was. We had the cantina filled with weird and wonderful creatures, and there's just nothing like that. You get the odd one here and there, but everyone's just a bland-looking human, and you think, like, what am I watching here?
Yeah, I agree.
You're watching the Mon Mothma divorce show. It's like it's for the modern audience. She's working so hard to build a rebellion while her husband is being a shit. He's a misogynist. We hate him. I've been waiting 2 years to see this. I hope she gets a good settlement. She deserves it. She's fabulous.
Fair play to you, mate.
Sorry about that. Just getting it off my chest.
Fair play. Fair play. Okay, I think we've kind of finished there. So that was a very, very short stream, everybody. Shall we? We've got a small. Should we do the presentation, or are we going to riff for a bit? What do you think?
Do a poll.
Just amuse yourselves,
Get a
folks.
poll,
Well,
yeah, no. I think we already did riff for a bit. I think let's go ahead and get to the presentation. I'm
okay.
sure we got plenty to talk about.
We'll do a poll in a bit. We'll do a poll. On Boomerang, but I always do. 56, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. Oh, with regards to the subscribe, you got a lovely message from somebody in the community, or was it on was it your last Sunday stream? Said he'd been unsubscribed without his knowledge, and it was only on the off chance that he looked. So YouTube are unsubscribing people who watch. So something's going on. But anyway,
I think he went to unsubscribed and was
possibly.
shocked to find he was already
He was
unsubscribed.
already
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I'm going to unsubscribe. Oh shit, they've done it already. I'm going to resubscribe, then unsubscribe. Okay.
And write a letter to my MP.
Yes. Please donate to the channel, super chats, etc. I've not done a super chat goal tonight. Completely forgot. If you just channel memberships are open. Okay, so When was this? Was this yesterday or Monday?
Would have been early morning Monday, I think, is when the first scoop came out.
Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy plans to retire by the end of 2025. No word on who will replace her as president of Lucasfilm.
I bet it's somebody's shit. Look at that picture there. Look at her face. She should change her name to Clive Barker's Kathleen Kennedy. She looks like something in a horror film. She's scary. She's horrific.
Oh, she's 71, isn't she?
That's no excuse.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
has she not got enough money to retire? Has she not got grandkids or anything? Where she could spend time with the grandkids or anybody?
No clue. Somebody Google it. Somebody in the chat Google it. Does
She,
Kathleen Kennedy have children? That would mean that somebody had sex with her. So I'm not.
Frank Miller.
She
It's not
probably
Frank
does.
Miller. Frank
Yeah,
Frank
Marshall.
Miller.
Frank,
That's a
Frank
different.
Marshall.
Frank Marshall.
Frank Miller.
Yeah.
That's a different animal completely.
Yeah, she does have 2 kids.
Yeah, look, she is all about reputation. She is scared of
Representation.
leaving reputation. She is scared of leaving without having something good under her belt. Unfortunately, she will be known as the person that destroyed Star Wars. And I wouldn't be surprised when she dies and she has a gravestone, some Star Wars fan's going to come and etch that on her gravestone. You are responsible for destroying Star Wars. I bet you that's going to happen. So I think that's what it's all about for her, really.
There's going to be a sort of competing narratives for a number of years now. The mainstream media, whatever's left of them, including these kind of Wikipedias or whatever you have, they're all going to peddle this narrative that she had a very difficult task because she was trying to do positive, quote-unquote, social justice things, and she ran into toxic male fans. They're going to continue to go with that for years. But I do think that at some point, there will be like movies and documentaries and people admitting also behind the scenes how Last Jedi and other projects were all crappy. And I think over time her legacy, there will be a few sides to that legacy, but it'll take time.
It's just like Jimmy Savile, when everybody thought Jimmy Savile was a saint and all that.
Yeah.
The truth always comes out in the end.
In the end,
Always.
right?
I
Well,
don't
we'll
think she's...
wait for the Epstein Island
Yeah.
list to
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
the truth always comes out, because I don't think that's ever going to come out.
I
We'll
mean,
find out.
I don't think she's going to be as bad as Jimmy Savile. That's a really tough competition.
Not quite, but near.
She ruined Star Wars. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. But I don't think she can beat Jimmy Savile.
Jesus.
What Price was saying, I'll
Christ.
reword this slightly. He said that she was trying to do social justice stuff and she ran into these toxic male fans. So I'll reword that. She was trying to do social justice stuff and she ran into 90% of the fan base.
Right. I mean, this is all the same delusional crap that these legacy media outlets and those kind of Wikipedias have been peddling for years. And they didn't want to admit that a woman that's supposedly the powerful woman in Hollywood doesn't know what she's doing, and she ran this thing into the ground. And if they admitted it, they would have to admit something larger, which they didn't want to acknowledge. And I don't know that they're quickly going to acknowledge it now. I really think that this will take a very long time until narratives shift.
It's very simple, right? She destroyed Star Wars. That's
Yes.
it. That is her legacy. And she doesn't want to. Well, she doesn't want to go out that way. That's her legacy, right?
They're already preparing. They're even this article, this Puck guy. Every single place that talks about her, they're like, "Well, she is a legendary producer. She did so much good things in Hollywood." They're almost now painting a picture of look at her entire body of movies, which basically are all Spielberg, Lucas, Scorsese, and all these other things. But they're making it seem like she was a producer on all of them. That she was somehow
Doesn't matter.
So they're trying
Coffee.
to make it seem like Star Wars is just a piece of this puzzle. And even with Star Wars, they're like, well, it was a mixed tenure. You know, The Force Awakens made a lot of money. The Mandalorian was successful. We know that The Mandalorian, basically, that was Favreau launching.
Price, if you know it,
I know
other
it.
people know it. Do you know what I mean? So
Normies don't know this. We sit
a lot
here,
of normies know it.
more normies.
Oh, you'd be
more,
surprised.
Yeah.
more normies know it today than they used to. But don't underestimate the power of the. Now I'm like Star Wars. Don't underestimate the power of the legacy media. They're still going to continue to push this in every way they can, and there's always going to be some delusional jerk offs that'll believe it.
I think what Mel said. I will just say quickly. What Mel said about her being compared to Jimmy Savile has some validity, because you might well say that she's still got some way to go before she can achieve that kind of atrocity. She's still got 12 months left until she's kicked out. So
when I said you, I was
maybe 8 months now. Sorry.
She has ruined a lot of children's childhoods.
When I said compare it to Jimmy Savile, I didn't mean the Jimmy Savile, what he did. I just meant that everybody thought that Jimmy Savile, because he was doing a lot of stuff for charity and stuff, everybody thought he was a saint. And no one can get any better than Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, and then we found out the truth. But the thing is, the truth is in plain sight here with Kathleen Kennedy, isn't it? Everybody knows. She can't hide. Everybody knows she destroyed Star Wars. There's more normies that know this now than ever.
Ever. I mean, only because people have been drilling it into them for God knows how many years. It's finally chipped away to the core, and they're now realizing. The thing is about her, though, if she wants to, she's waiting to retire on a win, right? That's the massive admission of failure, isn't it? Because it's saying like, oh, this project failed, that means I can't leave now because they're all failures, and I've got to create a win until I leave. So that's just saying that everything you've done is shit.
But you know
there you go, folks.
Sorry, go on. Go ahead. Go on.
Sword in the Storm, wretched. She has diddled no children, just the dreams of grown men
and women.
And women, yeah.
I would say there are probably more normies out there that know the name of Kathleen Kennedy associated with the downfall of Star Wars than know anything about her career as a producer and all the films that she worked on before that.
I'll accept that.
I think America, more Americans know that Kathleen Kennedy was responsible for the agenda in Star Wars and destroying Star Wars. I mean, do you know what I mean? They spoke in their thousands or whatever, or millions or whatever, and they voted in Trump. I mean, that's the way America's going now.
They politics,
all this politics. They can see through it all. So
yeah, they've woken up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
enough. Maybe there's a majority. Maybe there's more now that'll accept what you're saying, but don't underestimate the fact that there's still probably about 60, 65 million people that probably will say, oh, believe exactly what they're told. And all those type of activist ones will always, say how great she was and how diverse and inclusive. There will always be voices that push that stupid narrative.
She was never given a chance, Price.
Never.
No. She was there to make great Star Wars, something amazing that had diversity and had women in it, and she was never given a chance by all these toxic fans.
She was never really in charge. She was never really in charge. It was Bob Iger the whole way. Although Bob Iger's got to take a chunk of the blame because he's really the man in charge. So it's all goes back to him. The buck stops with him.
Yeah,
he could have stopped her at any moment.
Yeah, at least we're all singing from the same hymn book. When we had what was his name, Burnett on, do you remember, Ian? He was defending her. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why were you defending him?
Yeah, Mr. Burnett. Yes,
why were you defending her? I was like, what? Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe we should get Robert back on one day, but.
Yeah, KK was a fine producer. She did work, did some great work producing some amazing films, and she did well in that role. And as a studio head, she was an absolute disaster. She's not a creative, and we've all seen what her tenure as the head of Lucasfilm has wrought. She's
I will say this:
numerous franchises.
I will say this. I don't take, the fact that big directors like Spielberg or Lucas wanted her there to do the job means that maybe there was something that she could do as sort of, like a director of operations.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, I believe that in their productions, you could have replaced her, but you couldn't have replaced them. and I couldn't say that about her productions.
Yeah, I couldn't say that she's done some great work because I don't know. She's a producer. That doesn't really mean anything, does it?
Okay.
She was connected to people who did some great work.
I tell you, some of these comments are absolutely fine.
If I may, Drew, where do you come from? Are you from the UK or from the US? Because Fanny, that's different, isn't it?
As far as Kathleen Kennedy leaving, retiring, whatever, by the end of 2025, I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh yeah, as ever. Yeah.
Drew, where are you from? Are you from the States or are you from the UK? Because then I can do the message.
I want to compliment him on his avatar.
Name, isn't it? Drew Gordon looks like a very Scottish name.
Yeah.
He's got a really good avatar, though. Martial law, can't beat that.
We'll just wait for Drew.
Yeah,
but Drew,
can you hear me now? Sorry.
Oh, he's from Ukraine.
He's from. Okay.
Oh, okay.
No,
Drew Gordon wrenched Ukraine. Her fanny smells of turnips.
Is that from personal experience there, Drew, or is that secondhand information?
Damn.
I mean, I think she was exec producer in all those films like E.T. and Jurassic Park. So exec producer, it depends on what you do as exec producer. You could do nothing as exec producer, or you could be involved in the production. She was involved in the production of E.T. I know because she was interviewed and she was on set and all that. But it depends what she did.
I'll tell you what
lead her at all.
She paid the phone bill.
No, I'll tell you what I think. That too. But what I think is this is my theory. Spielberg and Lucas are the type of people that they want to give the feeling that they're kind of larger than life creatives. Sometimes you need a person, and I say even like a bitch, to walk in and tell them like, we need to get rid of these people. You need to fire this person. Tell this vendor we don't want him. Where's the vendor? Go yell at him.
A gopher, in other words.
Right. You know what? And I'm not dismissing what she was capable of doing in that capacity. I'm just saying that that's not the role of a studio head. It's certainly not the role of a creative. And I think that George Lucas, the reason why he ever appointed her was that he believed in, with his big ego, that they would never dare do anything without at least consulting him, thinking he thought he'd still have creative input, whereas she'll be sort of his woman on the inside. And what he didn't realize is one, she really is that bitch, and she was happy to get rid of him. And two, they didn't want anything to do with him. So that's why the whole thing backfired, and how they got, we got stuck with her, even though she was never a creative and she was never equipped to even run this thing.
George Lucas didn't care, though. Once he sold it, he really didn't care about Star Wars anymore.
Initially, he wanted to do a deal with Iger. Iger boasted in his book. He actually, before he signed, wanted something that he has some kind of creative input. That he does. He gave them like treatments for his movies, that he wanted the sequels, and he expected to be at least a consultant that they actually talk with about the production. And then Bob Iger did what happened with McDonald's and the founder. He said, listen, I can't put that in the contract, but obviously you're George Lucas. Of course, like, we care about your opinion. We're not going to put it in writing because, I have to get this approved. There's billions of dollars on the table here. But of course, you're George Lucas. And George Lucas foolishly signed it. And even Bob Iger was sort of boasting this in his stupid book. And then when they told George Lucas what they wanted to do, he said, I don't really like these ideas. I don't think you're going in the right direction. And then they said, well, too bad. We paid $4 billion. See you later, pal.
That's a fair point on the money, though. You pay $4 billion then.
Well, yeah.
Is the Phobos wrenched? Oh, my friend. Spielberg said it himself when asked why he kept her around. She's very good at making coffee. Firing people.
Yeah.
Scary neck woman.
Scary neck woman.
Well, that's the person that you want in a creative role, isn't it? Someone that can destroy and fire people. That really says creative to me.
They never intended for her to be a creative. This is a joke that went wrong. You know what I mean? They thought they all had it all set up the way they wanted, and somehow it backfired between the Me Too movement, her stupid agendas, and they didn't realize that in addition to being a bitch, she's this annoying feminist, whatever, and it was only growing with all those stupid movements. And George Lucas had too big of an ego, and I think even Spielberg didn't realize what a Frankenstein's monster they created.
Yeah. Well, she put herself in a creative position. I'll just add that.
Yeah, they may have thought that she was just gonna be the head of the studio and she was gonna foster the talent and everything there, but instead she decided she was gonna remake Star Wars in her image.
Okay, if I may quickly, Echo Chamberlain, Wrench, my friend, did a very, very good 7 or 8 minutes monologue about KK.
So watched it. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, really good.
Yep.
Have to check it out.
Yep. And honestly, I still think all these leaks and all the coverage on all these different journalistic endeavors, I'm still not going to believe she's gone until she's actually gone.
Here you go, another one. Istafobus Wrenched. Spielberg also said she had terrible ideas. I think that pissed her off.
Well, she's female. It probably did.
I reckon the day she actually corks it and the media report on her demise of her physical body, I think I'll still be doubting whether she's actually dead or not. I think
I said that.
Or she upload her brain to a computer somewhere like Skynet and still control the entertainment industry from within.
Yeah, she'll be like Tron, won't she?
Yeah, like the MCP.
They're going to give her an award, aren't they? I can't remember what the award is for.
Well, they've already given her a couple.
Gay pride thing.
Yeah, they're going to give her that, aren't they? So
there was one that was one producers guild thing, and then there was another one that it was from some thing for pride.
I thought it was something probably a bit controversial to say. Can I say something controversial?
Well, is he going to get? Oh, fuck it, just do it.
She's produced more gay shit than Elton John with diarrhea.
No wonder why you're losing subs, mate.
I asked permission. It's not my fault. I take no.
That's the kind of humour I'm here for. I'm sorry. That's why I subbed.
That will be okay for the. That'll be all right. It'll go through, don't worry. I said in the private chats about her today, she's only leaving Lucasfilm in a fucking coffin.
She's not. Look. This is just a rumor, isn't it? Has it been? Has it
been
proven that she's?
CNN said that it's not true. CNN.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry, go on.
We'll get to that in a minute.
So yeah. I mean, we don't know, do we? If she's leaving, we don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today. So occasionally, I do think about things. Do you think this was a very, very clever ploy to get us talking about Star Wars and Lucasfilm and Andor?
It doesn't matter what ploys they use because Star Wars is dead. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's the point of doing this?
All publicity is good publicity, is it not?
No, not this kind of publicity. Put in KK the half. Actually, more than half of the Star Wars fans don't like KK, and putting KK in the front. How is that going to work? How are you going to win back the fans by using KK?
Don't know.
If you want to start a rumor for publicity, you should try to start a rumor that's going to get you some positive buzz.
That's right.
What, like KK was?
I suppose, okay.
Involved in a I can't say that.
Crash.
RTA.
You know what? I could easily believe that she was. I know she wasn't. She's got months to go yet. But I can imagine her like packing all her stuff up from her desk and walking out of the office. And she's just about to leave the front door, and suddenly, like, she hears all the party poppers and the celebration going on behind her. And she stops and hears and turns around and goes, "Do you know what? On second thoughts, maybe I will stay."
Oh, didn't we say that the other week? That if they were to sack KK on the spot, film it and live stream it to cinemas, they'd make more money than.
We
said that, didn't we? It'd make a fortune.
I think that's probably accurate, genuinely accurate.
They're not going to do that because Hollywood is scared of firing women.
Of her?
They're still scared of firing women and still scared of saying that woman is a stupid cow when they act like a stupid cow. Do you know what I mean?
There you go, folks. Hertz, new face, literally nice avatar. Philip Schofield has better chance of a comeback than Star Wars.
Philip Schofield will be back. Don't worry yourself.
Yeah, he'll be back. Don't worry. Yeah, he'll be back. Don't worry. Yeah.
What, like a Noel Edmonds comeback, or?
Like a Noel Edmonds comeback.
Remember that Noel Edmonds thing? It was doing okay. So, Price of Reason, Professor R2, Noel Edmonds was a TV presenter / entertainer who was the most popular guy on British TV. Had his Saturday evening show that got all the viewers and such, and there was an accident on one of the sets during the show where somebody died. So they took some time off, and they come back again, and about a year later they had another accident where somebody else died. And
two people. I thought it was just one person who died.
No, it was two.
Was it?
I didn't know.
It didn't ruin his career.
And well, it did, because basically he came off TV for over 9 years.
Yeah,
because of that.
Shit canned the show.
And then they offered him the job on Deal or No Deal, and he did that for like another 5 years.
Oh,
and
so
then
good,
after that,
great program.
He left, and now he lives in New Zealand, and he has like a shop down there or something like that. So
we've traded Edmonds for Schofield, Dennis.
I know. I think I'd rather have Noel back. Dial-Up Chronicles, new face. Hello, my friend. $2. Star Wars will never die because of the mythology.
That much is true, because it is a modern myth, and you can't kill those. Yeah. It's way bigger and far further reaching than anything Disney can make.
Okay.
Basically, all Disney have done is just come along, grab it, try to repackage it, and sell it in their own image. It was always way, way grander than anything Disney could ever do. So it doesn't matter what Disney do to it. Ultimately, it will always live on in the hearts of people that appreciate what it actually is.
KK will never be able to steal our childhoods.
No, it's impossible.
And our memories of what, even though I was a Star Trek guy. I did like Star Wars, but I was more.
She did save a lot of people's lives on Jurassic Park, apparently.
Yeah, tell the story. Good producer story.
Well, I can't remember, but it was something about No, it was a
hurricane or something.
Hurricane that was coming to the island, and
typhoon.
They were all stuck there, and she somehow got a plane to fly all the cast and crew out. I don't know what she did, but she got one, because it was hard to get a plane to fly out, and she got one.
And again, it goes hand in hand with what I was saying. She was the type of person, and I'm sorry again that I'm saying it, that's a bitch that gets on the phone and says, get me a fucking plane right now, because I have to get off this island. And she would probably yell at somebody, and somebody would come and do it. I mean, as much as we laugh at her, forget about Star Wars and actually doing anything creative. All the maneuvers of having her look good in the media, of any time anybody went against her, all the slippery crap, even with Gina Carano, all the stuff that she did during this time shows that she is a manipulative bitch, and she knows how to do that.
Okay.
It's just that's not what was needed for Star Wars.
That's a very good point there, Forrest. We've got the Gina Carano thing. That's going to happen at some point.
Is she abusing her not feminine, gender?
No, she's doing what she has to do at the end of the day.
Because a misogynist like us. I'm sick of us.
That's what she thinks.
We should stop being so toxic. I'm sick to death of me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look, I have a lot of friends that live in LA, and once you're in the bubble, you're in the bubble. I have friends that don't live in the bubble in LA, and they tell me lots of crazy things that happen out there, especially when I go for auditions. But they say to me,
go on, give us some examples.
Go on.
One of my friends went for an audition, and before he even read from the script, they asked him what his pronouns was. And then they asked him if he likes trans people. And then he was really honest. He said, look, I don't want to get
Dylan Mulvaney, was it?
No. He said, look, I don't want to get into this. I just want to read the script. Can we start, please? He was really polite. And they said, hold on one sec. And they all started talking to each other. And they said, thank you very much. Which means he has to leave the room.
Fuck.
So there you go. He didn't even get a chance to read the script.
If you're not 100% bought in, there's a bunch of people there that will just turn you down. If you want to be apolitical, it's just the same as somebody who is opposed to their ideology.
And believe you me, right? It is so strong over there. The bubble is so strong. It's almost like a religion. Down there.
It absolutely is a religion.
Okay, if I may echo Chamberlain wrenched. I saw Mr. Blobby in the supermarket the other day. What?
Probably.
Prof, you available to read a mightily generous super chat, please?
Mightily generous super chat from Joe Eager. Very eager to have us read his chat. I think I did that same joke on Sunday. Yes. Joe Eager, $20. Everyone knew her contract ended this year. Is the news just that she's not seeking a renewal? That didn't seem likely anyway.
Who knows?
Makes sense.
It was pretty heavily rumored that her contract was supposed to end potentially last year. And she had some conversations with Iger, who basically said, you can choose to wrap it up and leave on your own terms, or we can fire you. So make up your mind, just decide which it's going to be. Now, again, these are just rumors. We don't know if that's the case. I think she's going to stay forever. I think she's going to be a shriveled corpse, and they're going to just make sure to keep lots of deodorizers around the room.
Even if she did leave, it's fucked.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Star Wars is ruined. The Indiana Jones IP is destroyed. Even if they brought someone else in, but doesn't matter who it is. They get Jon Favreau. He agrees to come be the lead president of Lucasfilm. He's going to rule over ashes.
The only way to fix it is to cancel everything Disney made.
Yeah, and that's not happening. That's not going to happen.
And you know what? It's sad because it was on the cusp of something better, wasn't it, with the Gina Carano stuff?
No,
not really.
No,
not really. No.
Or am I just no?
There's nothing great about Gina Carano. She's not a good actress. She shouldn't have got fired. That was wrong, right?
No, I mean, I've
said this before. She wasn't setting the world alight. A character was not interesting. She wasn't, there was nothing interesting. Cara Dune was the character, right?
It was the Luke Skywalker episode, is what I meant. Everything seemed to be going good, and then literally,
no, even that.
They sacked to the. Oh no.
Everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything. The only, as far as I'm concerned, the only two good things that came after the Star Wars that we know is one, Rogue One, which was passable. Let's face it, it was okay.
Yeah.
Two was The Mandalorian season 1. Everything else was a waste of everyone's time.
I thought season 2 was uneven of Mandalorian, but it wasn't as bad as season 3 was. Season 2 had moments that I liked, moments that I thought were kind of lazy. The thing at the end with Luke Skywalker, I felt weird about the CGI, but at the same time, I at least had hope that maybe there's a change in direction.
Yeah,
they're trying to reach back out to the fans, and Favreau was trying to do something.
Andor, let's not forget Andor.
I liked season 2 of The Mandalorian. It gave us back Boba Fett. It gave us some hope for Boba Fett, didn't it?
I got emotional when I saw Luke Skywalker, even though the CGI was a bit shonky. Got a bit emotional,
No, I didn't. I just thought, why? It was like, just leave him alone now. You've made him into an old man drinking titty milk, and now you're going to CGI his face up. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Just leave him alone.
Well, the damage had been done by that.
Yeah, well, exactly. Look, everything they've done so far, everything. It's just been shit. All of it.
Sorry, Hurts. I just get carried away. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want it to be good.
Real men don't cry, Brun. Real men don't cry.
Everyone wanted it to be good. Everyone wanted Star Wars to be good. And it's like buying a Tonka toy for your little girl. Do you know what I mean? That's what she did to Star Wars. She turned the whole thing into a woman's brand. And it's not a woman's brand. It can never be a woman's brand. It's a boy's brand.
Isn't it strange how we never get the reverse, do we? We never get girls' brands being turned into boys' brands. I wonder why that is.
Because boys don't like Barbies, that's why.
Yeah. Well,
someday.
Well, there's some aspects of the Barbies that are enjoyable, but
okay.
That was something that I found really strange. The amount of adult males who were outraged about the Barbie movie, and I'm thinking, you stupid fuckers, clearly, right? Now you can have these weirdos tell you that Star Wars isn't for you, which is a load of shit. But I'm telling you, right, from the heart, Barbie's not for you, you fucking idiots. Calm the fuck down. Calm your meatballs, right?
It was garbage. I had to watch that.
That was
garbage.
See if that was the best film ever made. It was still not meant for you, so stop fucking moaning and get over it. There you go. That's me.
Could have been Barbie. Could have been a good movie. Ironically, there were
You know,
moments I thought, okay, this could be good, but
it made a lot of money.
It's based on
Maybe-
the Toy Story Barbie and Ken. Then I would have watched it, but forget the rest of it. Yeah.
Maybe it was a good movie. How the fuck would I know what's a good Barbie movie? I mean, seriously.
Shit.
How would I know? How would you know what's a good Barbie movie? Come on.
It had shooty in it, so it was definitely shit.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, sidestep. Would you want to see? Oh God, here we go. Kevin Feige replace Kathleen Kennedy as the new head of Lucasfilm.
No.
Many insiders believe him to be the best candidate for the job.
It's not going to be him.
No. I'm not sure how to say this, but no.
He looks like the UFC guy. What's his name? Dana White.
I like his. I like the Photoshop in his peak cap. It's great. It's seamless Photoshop. Everybody, that AI stuff's incredible.
Look, who cares who takes over? If they don't get rid of everything that Disney has produced connected to Star Wars, we're going to be back to square one. Whoever takes over, and I can't see them doing that.
Feige's a bitch. I've seen him in an interview talking about how much he loves DEI and how he needs to check all the tick boxes in his productions and in his movies.
Oh yeah,
the guy's a fucking cuck. He can fuck off.
Yeah, he's a male. He's a male feminist.
Fuck off out of the industry, mate. Just everyone knows you're a twat. Fuck off.
Maybe it's a misquote, and he was saying DIY, and he likes putting up shelves and building furniture and things.
You should have around a Home Depot.
I don't know. Maybe.
Do they have IKEA in Hollywood?
Does anybody remember?
I reckon
when what's her name? KK was on stage and she was introducing Daisy, and they were saying they were going to make a Ray Skywalker film, and then that woman came on and said yes, and everybody was cheering and stuff. Everybody was cheering, and what happened after that? After that, nothing happened with the Ray film, and we had Lesbian Witches, which was the biggest flop ever.
See that? Yes.
You didn't watch it though.
The yes thing sounded like the driver of the special bus talking to the kids at the back.
You're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying, right? It doesn't matter how many people scream, or in the crowd for Star Wars, and they're putting their hands up and they're punching the air, thinking this is going to be great, blah blah blah. It was all shit, wasn't it? Every bit of what they produced was absolute shit. So
they filled that
people
room
have
up.
Spoken, right?
The
real people have spoken.
Has anything been good then in the 13 years?
No.
Rogue One. Look, the first couple of seasons of The Mandalorian was fine. There was nothing wrong with them. It fitted in there nicely. There was a space for something like that, and they could have went on and just doing a kind of bounty hunter in space, like the man with no name, and it would have been okay. But they got too convoluted and got too carried away, and then get too woke. The first two seasons were okay.
Favreau got sideswiped, and I'll put money on that.
Yeah, that seems pretty obvious. I think that he had a plan for it, and they swooped in and said, "Nope, you got to change this and change that, and bring back Grogu and whatever."
Yeah, she would have been pissed at seeing Luke Skywalker because apparently that was kept secret, wasn't it? And she didn't know about it.
Here's my problem with Favreau. After everything they did to the Mandalorian, that was supposed to be his thing, his baby, and then what they done in season 3 is. He signed off on that, and I don't know if he signed off on it, but he let them put his name on it, and they took the money, so he sold out. So fuck him.
And also, actors don't care either. You can, if you give someone a lot of money, they're going to comply. Look what happened to the James Bond people. Gave them $1 billion, and they sold the best thing ever, which is one of James Bond. They sold out, mate.
I reckon they gave Favreau his movie as a sweetener, just to get.
What movie was that then?
The Grogu and Mando story.
No, that's going to be a big flop. Everybody knows that. I don't know. These people are in a bubble, man. They can't see outside it, and they're still stuck in this crazy bubble. Good luck to them. I mean, if there is an award, the biggest awards movie award ceremony in the world,
That's
that
on Sunday, isn't
film
it?
has 13 nominations. You can't tell me that that's not going to destroy the reputation of the Oscars. It definitely.
It's already gone. The Oscars is already dead. Nobody takes them seriously anymore.
They tried. They were trying to.
Yeah, but in their hearts
them,
of heart, they think they're doing the right thing. They don't
They know
realize
they're doing.
They don't realize they're destroying it.
Didn't they do that with a lot of those award shows where they combine the male and female awards, so you don't get Best Actor or Best Actress?
Yeah, that was the Brits.
Yeah, and then
was,
none of the women won anything.
Yeah, I think the Brit Awards, the music awards, have reverted back to male and female.
Do you know what? Right, I hope that guy wins best female actor. I really hope he wins because that would be the end of the Oscars. It really would.
You'll see all the women, the genuine women, applauding a bloke.
Yeah.
I kind of agree there with Mega Geek. It's I don't want to see that individual, we'll call them, winning, but I think they deserve it. I think the Oscar people, the people with their heads up their ass, deserve that. They deserve the pushback that'll get them. They deserve the uproar that'll cause. They deserve it.
They do.
They deserve to get bummed for that.
Bummed, did you say?
Bummed, burned,
dry
stabbed,
bummed,
stabbed, everything.
Wretched. Amelia Perez for all 13. Do it.
Do you know what? Right, anyone with a brain, if they just have to look at one clip from that film on YouTube and know it's rubbish.
I've seen the clip with the penis to vagina song. I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh,
that's insane.
Astonishingly bad.
How can you not know?
Emperor Goodwin. Hello, Emp Wrenched. Yes, give Amelia Perez all the Oscars, you cowards.
Penis to vagina sounds like something that one of them sex education books, doesn't it, in school?
But they all, it's all about money. In the end, right, if you give someone a lot more money, they will comply. They will comply. It's like Woody Allen. When every time Woody Allen got nominated for an Oscar, he was never there. He was across the road playing jazz or something like that, playing his saxophone in a band. But then, the more famous he got, he had to turn up and get his Oscar, didn't he? He turned up and he got his Oscar. Same thing with Spielberg. Spielberg was against the Oscars because they kept snubbing him year after year. And now he's in the fold. It's all about the money. It's all about the prestige at the end.
Sold out eventually. Became one of them.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. The most ridiculous comment ever on this channel, Sword and Storm Wrenched. It may sound ridiculous, but there is a tiny part of me that really hopes Daredevil is good.
I'm with you, Sword. I hope
it's good.
Yeah.
But you know what? That'll be the real test of Disney and with their Disney Plus, because we've seen that they are not able to do episodic TV. Everything they just stretch and they make crappy. One of the good things about the Daredevil on Netflix is that every episode was well written and well made. And the question is, can they deliver that, or it'll be just another crappy Disney Plus show?
I do kind of know because I was listening to Gary yesterday. Apparently, the first 4 episodes are just a little bit awful.
Who's seen it?
Slow pacing. The reason why the first half of the series is a bit iffy is because it's kind of clearing out all the old scripts, as it were.
How does it know it's not been released?
Somebody in the know who's seen it.
Maybe one of those Chris Gores or something gave him.
Yeah.
Somebody saw a screen or something.
After episode 4, it's pretty much back to Netflix level of Daredevil. Very good, the people say.
How many episodes is the season?
Did he say 8 or 9 or 10? I can't remember. There is hope for. There's hope, folks. There's hope. Apparently, you have
shit.
Yeah, you have to. Apparently, you have to. If you can get through the first 4 episodes, you will be rewarded. Apparently.
Why? Why do we have to get through the first 4 episodes? You're talking like Andor now. Jesus, I have to put up with 4 episodes of boredom.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ian.
I don't think thing is. I don't think they could have completely binned it. I think that's what they were saying on the live stream. They could, because obviously timing and trying to get stuff out and deadlines, they couldn't completely bin everything.
They had 70 years to do this. They announced this in like 2020 or something, or 2022. They've had years to make this not suck. I don't want to use curses again on your channel, but F them.
Well, they spend almost $1 billion to make films not suck and end up with Captain America, the whatever it is, the latest film.
Still enjoyed it. It was shit, but I still enjoyed it.
Was it $800 million worth of enjoyment?
No.
No, I paid £3.
Yeah, I was thinking them tickets are getting expensive.
Oh, here you go. MC Wrenched. Hello, MC. 9 episodes. There you go.
It was agreeable to see you again. Yeah, okay, fine.
Here you go. Alex Ashkin Wrenched. Hello, my friend. Did you watch Clean Broom?
Not yet. It's not released over here yet.
No, it's an online movie, Ian.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not in the cinema?
No.
Didn't get a cinematic release over there at all.
Oh, is it? I was really looking forward to seeing it in the cinema.
Melvin, can you? India's nice at this time of year, apparently.
Disparu has already posted his review of it.
Oh, Melvin.
Hi, Melvin.
Can you, Melvin? I thought it was going to be in the cinema.
Say? Yeah, I know.
Damn.
What did Desperate say?
Listen, okay, I'll just get this off my chest, right? See, when we're talking about illegal activities and things like that, can you ask me privately?
No, I'm not asking you to do something illegal. I'm just saying, if you're sailing down to India, that's what I'm saying.
India's nice at this time of year, and I know you
have a good time.
Take the old boat into the Indian Ocean, little fishing trip off the coast of Sri Lanka.
Absolutely.
So, what did Des?
He was not kind. It's awful.
No, the thing is, did Desperate embrace it like we're embracing it?
No, Desperate, right?
Is he missing the point of it?
No, you're missing the point. Desperate needs a haircut. That's it.
He does.
Can we move on, please? Move on.
He does. Okay. Let's do a sidestep then.
He's gotten fatter as well in Desperate. His face it's like his cheeks are blown up.
Is it like you're allowed to hit upwards, aren't you? If you're a YouTuber, you're not allowed to. If YouTube rules, you're not allowed to punch down. Is that correct?
No, I do. I like his reviews, Desperate, but I've noticed little things about him, like his hair has gotten longer and his cheeks have gotten fatter, and I don't know what's going on with him, but I still like his reviews, though.
I think. Yeah, Desperate knows his stuff.
He does, yeah.
Am I allowed to punch up?
Or it's up to you, mate. You looks like you're gonna.
Shall I shut the fuck up?
No, you look. This is a free country, isn't it? Is it?
Okay. Oh, okay. Look.
What's that?
Carlos Delfino, hello, my friend. You are not allowed to despair.
Desperate.
Okay, I just think Desperate should spend a few pounds and get a stylist. That's all I'm saying.
You're terrible. You're terrible, Brown.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Personal trainer, apparently.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because he knows his onions. Anyway.
Oh, who's that bloody guy outside with the bike? Jesus, what's he doing? And you know what time it is, you idiot? Sorry, carry on.
Is it Lance Armstrong?
I don't know. Some idiot out there revving his bike.
Listen, if you thought my comment about Desperate was very diplomatic and just
shut up, Brown.
The chat putting the boot in. Anyway,
of course.
Let's move on.
You put the boot in, mate.
Okay, so there was this then on CNN. Star Wars Chief is staying on at Disney despite a report that she's leaving, at least for now. So this was yesterday.
It doesn't matter what happens, right? It doesn't matter if she gets a win with some little tiny little Star Wars thing. She's always going to be known as the person that destroyed Star Wars.
That
She
is going to be a
cannot
legacy.
shake that. Yeah, that's going to be her legacy. Doesn't matter what she does. Doesn't matter.
Swapper's gone.
That's just what I just said. That's going to be a legacy. That's what she'll be remembered for. Anyone ever says Kathleen Kennedy in the future, it won't be about her plaudits from whatever movies she was a producer on, like E.T. or Indiana Jones or whatever. Any of that won't be any of her successes. It'll be what she did to destroy what everyone loved, which was Star Wars. That is what everyone will remember her for forever.
Remember when she got that award for putting gay stuff in movies? Wasn't
Yeah.
that great?
Yay! Okay.
There will be some weird activists, maybe not a lot, that'll still try to hold on to the narrative. I do think that within 5 to 10 years there'll be documentaries, like I said, and those documentaries will start rolling out real dirt. I think.
Yeah, always happens.
I'm looking forward to those.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll throw this back at you then. If she was to do a press conference and just come out with it and say, "I let you down, everybody. I fucked up. I'm sorry."
She'll never do that. She'll never in a million years, no matter what you say, she will never do that. That's the opposite of what she'll do.
Exactly.
She's going to come out to the podium. You're going to think that that's the press conference she'll do. She'll tell you in advance she'll do that. She'll come out to the podium and she'll say, "Mr. Brown is a terrible Istanphobe. He should take him away."
Thanks, right.
It'll all be about what she's achieved, not what she's destroyed.
Exactly.
Will Bob Iger be hiding
Bob
in the
Iger,
podium?
you see that interview? Was it over 5 years ago? He was sitting on a chair in his cardigan, thinking he was the coolest thing since fucking your left
Sliced
side
bread.
of your pillow, whatever. Yeah. He didn't admit, even though, right, and the person that was interviewing him didn't ask him the right questions either. Didn't ask him the solid questions. They're in control of that, but everyone with a brain knows that they're responsible for destroying the things that we love with their agenda.
You know how these interviews go. They got to present all the questions beforehand, and they're not allowed to ask the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Fade in.
Apart from if you're on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well, that's why they don't go.
Okay, what about a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan, KK, just completely...
She wouldn't go on. She wouldn't go on.
No, she wouldn't.
She would not go on. It's the same. It's like what's her name? The stupid woman that was up.
She's like Kamala, yeah.
Yeah, her. She wouldn't go on because they know that if they start talking and they're that stupid, the truth will come out. You know what I mean? So they are that stupid, all of them. KK,
Well, I mean,
KK in that as well.
Kathleen Kennedy, the truth's already out. It doesn't matter if she says it out loud or not. We know.
Yeah.
Mud Crab. Hello, my friend. You can come again. Brune is not a terrible Istanphobe. He's a great Istanphobe. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I've figured out why your subs are going down. It's because KK doesn't like you, and she's out to get you. That's why. Because you've upset her too many times.
You're right.
You took her name in vain, and she's called in some favors, and she called the guy who owns YouTube, whose name is Jeff YouTube, and she said, get some of his subs off him because he needs punished. He's been a naughty boy.
Isn't the person who runs YouTube Indian, ironically?
Yeah.
Or did I make that up completely?
No, he is.
Google runs YouTube.
Okay. So
his middle name is Jeff Google YouTube. That's his name.
Oh, Jake YouTube, apparently.
Oh, well, look, I don't care how long she stays. She's killed everything. She can't kill any more stuff. So good luck.
Has she killed your love for Star Wars?
Yeah, definitely. The only Star Wars I watched, the original Star Wars, was it a month ago, around about Christmas time? I saw the original Star Wars. Mind you, though, it was the one George Lucas screwed around with. But you know, I still like the film.
Do you know what? It's if you watch the original trilogy, is it still a hard watch now, knowing what happened to it?
No, it's not. Not for me.
No,
not for me.
Oh, okay,
not at all. Not at all. Because I can see it. Just reminds me of how great it was before Disney, and how Disney have got nothing to do with any of the good stuff. That's what it just reminds me of. So it will never be tainted.
Right. I mean, for me, it's not the same as it was. Maybe years down the road, if I manage to try to forget some of the stuff I didn't like, and I just kind of watch it, I can re-enjoy it. It's really, really tough. It's not that they just did one controversial little thing. They've just systematically deconstructed it in such a crappy way and ruined everything piece by piece. It's hard to like unsee that.
Susan Wojcicki is CEO of YouTube.
Yeah, she works for Jeff YouTube.
Yeah, he happens to be Asian.
Okay.
I would just say, like, Kathleen Kennedy is the sort of person that I can imagine who would walk into sort of geek's basement dungeon paradise with a clipboard and a pen and note down every single major franchise that they love, and then leave with the mandate to systematically ruin every single one of the franchises that person enjoys and collects all the information, collects all the merchandise from. She would then go away into Hollywood and say, right, we're going to tear down this, we're going to tear down this, we're going to tear down this. She is the sort of person that would do that. And she just managed to get her claws into Star Wars and completely shred it from the inside out. But it doesn't matter what franchise it is. If she got her hands on it, she'd ruin it.
Yeah,
so, we're lucky she only did one.
Okay. The person died, apparently.
Who did?
The Susan
She died?
YouTube. Yeah. Here you go. Alex Ashkin. Neil Mohan is CEO. I think he's Indian. I'm sure he is.
Do you know what?
That's an Irish name.
YouTube's very powerful, that like they were saying
YouTube, Google,
more people look at YouTube than any network channel.
By miles.
Yeah.
But Alex Ashgan is incorrect. His name is Jeff YouTube.
It is. Okay. Any final comments on KK?
Yeah, she sat in the boardroom. She had a decent script for Indiana Jones with Short Round, and she turned it into what we had. She
Is that
deserves.
true?
Yes, true. Of course, it's true. That the original script had a Marion, Indiana Jones, and Short Round as an adult. Yeah, so I've been told. I don't know.
Well, you see, I think that would have been shit. What they needed was a good original story and not bringing back member berries.
No, but I heard that they weren't going to cast Key in if they went with that film. They were going to cast somebody else to play Short Round. That's what I heard. Again, through a friend of mine in LA, who's kind of got his fingers.
Was it Shooty?
No,
it
wasn't.
No, he's going to LA. Shooty's
Yeah.
on his way, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got this friend in LA who basically is in the Hollywood system, and he's an actor, and he tells me a lot of stuff that I'm not really. He's the one that went to the screening of the Superman movie and said,
"Wow."
He said to me that the romance doesn't work in it. The version he saw, he said that he thought the romance was just crap. And he wrote that on the. Sorry, say again.
Which movie is this?
Superman, the latest Superman film, because they had 5 screenings of different versions.
Oh, I didn't know it was finished. Okay.
No, it wasn't finished. It was half finished. That's what I'm saying. They were doing the screenings.
Oh, like a preview kind of
like
test.
a preview thing to see what people think.
Yeah.
And he's Jesus, that
garlic bread. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, I like that.
That's very good. At Mr. Brown Lion tells me, there's a lot of death on this street. Just discovered Neil Mohan just sadly passed away. Jeff YouTube has resumed the role temporarily. Garlic bread, that's amazing.
So Mega Geek was right. The truth will always come out. Jeff YouTube is the guy. Don't doubt me again.
Okay then.
If I may, before you move on.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to hear Price of Reason's final thoughts on
go on,
KK.
Price.
I would like to hear some swear words.
My final thoughts on KK?
Go on, rant.
Do you want to go full? Here you go. Look.
Go full price.
Yeah,
rant it. Go on, rant.
I mean, all I can say is that she was given the biggest dream job in Hollywood. She was given Star Wars, also even Indiana Jones and Willow, but Star Wars, that's like the biggest franchise in Hollywood, and it was a brand that people liked all over the world. Probably, I would even say hundreds of millions of people all over the world knew and recognized this brand. And in a world where there's people at odds and conflicts and wars and things like that, this kind of thing can bring people together. And she had the keys to that. And it was something that everybody came together to enjoy together, this Star Wars thing. And she somehow managed to take it and destroy it and make hundreds of millions of people around the world miserable because she's an annoying, manipulative bitch. and that's what her legacy is. The question is, at what point will anybody admit that? The question is if that'll ever be the consensus. And then we have yet to see how it'll all play out. But I think that over the years, surely The Last Jedi will be seen as a failure. I mean, I've said this years ago, that I think that there will be movies about how that movie destroyed a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And I think people are going to come clean and really discuss how that was a crappy movie. And it'll have a different perspective than what we've seen until now.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fascinating.
And the thing
and
is,
I'm here for it.
And the thing is, they had a window of opportunity to sort it, to correct it, and they stuck with the original plan, didn't they?
Mm.
Because Carrie Fisher died.
No, Carrie Fisher, right? She actually was for all this rubbish. Otherwise, she would have just said, "No, I ain't doing that in the script." Every male character was stamped upon in all those Star Wars.
It's feasible. Carrie Fisher needed the money.
She needed the money. She had all these drug issues in her life. She had all these ups and downs. The fact that she was even standing and was able to do these movies was considered like a big deal. And let's be honest, Harrison Ford in you know, I'm going to say something. No, I'm not going to say it. I could say something controversial.
Yeah,
go on. Say it.
Yeah, go on.
Harrison Ford in the movies still looked like Han Solo. She kind of looked like Han Solo's grandmother. And it's not just because she's a woman and he's a man or anything like that. She really didn't even sound. Her whole vibe and her sound and her whole energy was different. You could tell that the years treated her roughly. It's not like a woman thing or an ageist thing or anything. Harrison Ford was obviously older. He looked old, but he still had that little something that makes him Harrison Ford, like Han Solo. She almost seemed like a different character. And I think that at that point she collected her check. She's professional enough. She did whatever she was told, but I don't think that she had any kind of input beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
They could have left the scene out on The Last Jedi. It always goes back to The Last Jedi where they had time as well. They could have just taken the scene where Jake just disappears like a fart in the wind. They could have taken that out and brought him back for the third.
Right. All they had to do was take out that scene and then just, let Colin Trevorrow, whoever they wanted to do something, just let that person make the movie. And then that person could come along and just make it so that he never died. He was a hologram. It was stupid. But as stupid as it was, people would just say, okay, that was a dumb movie. They bring a third one. They kind of try to fix as much as they can, their mistakes. And maybe they would have never really fixed the trilogy 100%, but maybe there was a way for some kind of course correction. But between not having Luke alive and giving J.J. Abrams, who is the Hamburglar of Hollywood, a chance to ruin that movie. One of the most insulting movies ever made, and hard to believe it cost almost $500 million to make, was Rise of Skywalker. That in and of itself should mean that J.J. Abrams should never make another movie again. And I don't know that he's even made one since. I wouldn't give him any money to make one.
Yeah, but he was picking up the pieces of
Roundhead. Yeah. And I hear what you're saying, Price, right? But the thing is, though, he was brought in, right,
to salvage something.
But he got basically. They said to him, "Well, look, again, this is something that my friend said. Basically, he got offered to do the last one the way he wants to do it. Right? He agreed. He signed the contract. He signed the NDA, and then they literally pulled the carpet under him. So they had some of his stuff in there." But KK came in, swooped in, and literally turned it into a girl's brand again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to him. So even though I don't like him, right, if this is true, he did try to save it. Because you can see bits where he was trying to save it.
Yeah.
But he was foiled by KK again. That wanted it to be a girl's brand. That wanted Rey to say, "I'm a Skywalker." That wanted her to, without any training whatsoever, beat the Emperor.
Steal
all that stuff. All that.
You know what? You know what? He could have raised hell if in that position they brought him to save this thing, he should have marched into the office of Iger every 5 minutes, gotten on the phone and started cursing out and yelling people and put his foot down. Instead, if he kept rolling over, then he's an idiot. Not only that, I've seen footage of he's like, oh, we were in a hurry. I just started filming stuff. I didn't even know what I was filming. Like there were scenes that he just envisioned that there's some kind of action scene and he didn't even know how that would be, fit in the movie.
They fly now?
ADR.
Yeah, but
Later,
Price,
like
they were
ADR, they're just
changing.
talking to try to create scenes around the stupid crap that he already filmed.
Yeah, but Price, right? They were changing the script as they were going along. They approved the script, right? Then there was a green light, and then as he was shooting it, they were changing it without his permission, and he had to direct what they were changing.
Some
right?
of it is his.
I don't know if that's true. Again, right? I have a friend that tells me all this shit.
No, you may be right. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't ring true what you're saying. All I'm saying is that he rolled over. If he
had
was,
to, he's under contract.
so he should have he should have gotten a better contract. If he wanted to come back and make this movie, he should have safeguarded it in a way that he gets to do it his way. Obviously, he didn't. He came back, he took the money, and he made a movie that they were allowed to come and sabotage seemingly every second. And let's be real, even without their sabotage, he's still the Hamburglar of Hollywood.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
He's
But the
still a
thing is,
complete hack.
when you
Right.
say
It doesn't matter.
when you sign a there's no contract in Hollywood that gives you 100% control over something that you don't own unless you own it, right? So you have to find a compromise, right? And that's what he did. He found a compromise, right? And he thought everything was going swimmingly, and then they pulled the rug under him. That's what my friend said happened.
Yeah.
He's not a big fan of JJ. He hates JJ.
Yeah.
But he said to me that is what happened to him. That's why there's
Maybe
bits
they
in
made-
there.
I'll give you
Yeah.
credit one thing. Maybe they made it worse than what it already
Jeez.
would have been. I
Exactly.
don't think it would have been great, but
Nope.
maybe they made it even worse. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Did. Yeah, they probably did. And also, my friend said to me that he got on really well with Matt Smith. They shot all this stuff with Matt Smith, and they were like, "Yeah, this is gonna, do blah blah blah." Then the next thing you know, they're firing Matt Smith. So you know what I mean? So it's like hiring an actor, and then suddenly you turn around and say, "Where's Matt Smith?" Oh, he's been fired. He's been let go. What? What are we doing now? Do you know what I mean? So I guess he was in a horrible situation, and also because he's under the NDA, he can't say anything.
Yeah.
He can't say nothing, and then everybody thinks he's the villain.
He negotiated a poor contract. I'll say this, and this is the only time I'm going to say something. I am not like an important person in entertainment. There was one time that I had a situation that involved J.J. Abrams, and my opinion of him, in addition to all the stuff that I've said, is extremely low. I think that he's a douche and an asshole. And at the end of the day, if since then he hasn't been able to get like movie gigs, I think it's well deserved.
I have a question.
I agree. Yeah. Right,
I have a question for Price. Is that a douche and an asshole, or a douche and an asshole?
Maybe he's a combination of both.
So,
It's kind of happened.
a douchey asshole.
Sorry about that.
Do you know, when did The Last Jedi come out?
Okay.
2008, 2017 at the end of 2000.
Fucking hell,
it
10
wasn't
years later,
like-
we're still going on.
Again,
Oh,
according to
man.
my friend, it wasn't his idea to bring Palpatine back. Halfway through when they were shooting, they said Palpatine's coming back. And according to my friend, JJ was sitting on a crate or an apple crate with his hands in his face. Just sitting there going,
Shit.
what the fuck is going on here? Do you know what I mean? And there was a lot of time being wasted as well on set where nothing had been done because they had to they were rewriting the script as they went along. He was just sitting there going, what have I got myself involved with? And
Fuck.
again, right, he has to stand up in front of a crowd and go, yeah, we've made the best film we can, and I'm all for KK and all that stuff. He's like, he's fucked, basically. He can't say anything. What can he say? He would get sued if he says something. Do you know what I mean? And plus, he wants to stay in Hollywood. He wants to make films in Hollywood.
Because he was a big Star Wars fan, and we said
He
this
was,
many
yeah.
times. We've said this many times. If he'd have done the trilogy with no interference from that lady on screen, I think we'd have been in a different position now.
again, right? I would say like Doomcock. Take this with a pinch of salt. This is what my friend said to me. I had a long conversation with him on Skype once.
Is it
And this is the
Sparrow?
stuff he was telling me. No, I don't know. It's
That's
That's
Robin.
another one. That's another person. But I know him. And he's an actor, and I've known him for years. So
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, right, okay. I thought you were going to tell us a story then. Okay.
No, I finished. I finished.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't see your face, Mega Geek. We can just see the photographs. So when you finish, you have to like say full stop or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Full stop.
Okay. So what we're saying is, there's a whole new level of how she fucked Star Wars up, which we weren't really aware of with what you've just said, Ian.
Well, they did the same with the cast, didn't they? You've seen that famous picture where they're in the living room and all the cast is there, right? They fooled poor old Mark Hamill because the original script involved Luke Skywalker. They fooled everyone. Harrison Ford didn't give a shit.
And you know what?
Care.
You know what else they done with Mark Hamill? They must have stiffed him for his pay because he's got to charge $700 for an autograph
Bastard.
now.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He can't even afford a belt, can he? Okay.
The check bounced after all of
I
that.
want to say one thing. J.J. Abrams came up with the idea for something
Came
up with something called the Wayfinder.
Yeah.
Anybody that said let's put something in the script called the Wayfinder deserves to never work again.
Was that him or was that him?
If not, it was what was it? Chris Terrio, the guy that wrote like Man of Steel.
He's not allowed to say, is it? Because it's got.
Didn't they? Okay, no. Was it Man of Steel? No, Batman versus Superman, that has a pretty weak screenplay. That's the guy that JJ brought as quote unquote reinforcements to help him fix Rise of Skywalker, and then I guess together they came up with the Wayfinder.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care. I used to like JJ before all this shit happened. I thought he did a good job on the Mission Impossible film. I love Fringe. I thought that was great. I even liked that one with the girl that kicked ass. Was that Dark Angel? No, that was Cameron, wasn't it? The other one, Alias. I liked Alias. Yeah. So until all this crap happened.
Yeah, he was good for serial TV or something like that. Mission Impossible 3 only skated by because Philip Seymour Hoffman was a good actor. He didn't give him any depth as a villain. It's almost by fluke between Tom Cruise's charisma and what's his name, Philip Seymour Hoffman, just being naturally good at conveying some villainous thing. That movie somehow is semi-passable, but it's also the weakest probably out of the Mission Impossible movies. And as I've said before, Tom Cruise made it a point to never invite JJ to direct again.
Alex Ashkan wrenched. Next slide, Brune. We're all tired of KK. I thought this section was going to last, 30 minutes tops?
All right. Go to the next slide. Sorry, Mega Geek. Sorry that I was so.
No,
that's all right. Let's go for it.
The boys and girls in the chat appreciate when you two start cooking. When you cook, you've just got to let you get on with it. Istaphobos wrench $2. Anyone who makes a car video is a simp.
Right, all of them haven't they? All of them have. Have you got any pictures of Anna the anus?
No anus.
Being chaired up.
No.
I want to be chaired up.
No anus this week.
Damn it. Oh.
If I send you a picture, Brune, can you bring it up?
No, because my computer won't handle it.
Won't handle
Star Wars,
the sexiness of Anna the Amos.
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, will re-release in several formats, including 4DX. The 4DX experience will use over 21 effects. It will be available in theaters for 1 week.
Yes, Disney are desperate.
And this will make more money than whatever the fuck else they made lately.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's, is it end of April?
I like the ending.
For a week or so, it's going to be out.
I think I'll go and see this. I think I will go and see this.
Yeah, the ending, it's not a very good film, but the ending was quite good. Apart from the bit where he goes, no, that bit. It's terrible.
Actually, yeah.
Best of the prequels.
Yeah.
Anakin ruined the prequels. All versions of Anakin, his lines and his acting, both actors, all 3 films. That was the worst part of them. The worst part of them was Anakin by a long way.
I feel bad for Hayden Christensen because I think that he. I've seen movies like that, like at the time, independent movies that he was in. That one that he's a reporter, and he wasn't the worst actor. It's just that he was a very inexperienced actor at the time. Green screen was very new, and George Lucas was the type of guy that's just like, "Oh, go quickly, say it." So he's just like barking at him, and that's why his performance looks just like he doesn't know what he's doing there.
Because he doesn't.
I think that he could have probably done better if it was, let's say, like Spielberg there. Probably he would have given a better performance. I just think that it was a combination of inexperience and George Lucas's style that kind of ruined it. And writing.
Here you go. Not Brian Wrenched. Saw it 6 times in the cinema. Damn.
Wow.
That's because he was probably working in a cinema at the time. He was a projectionist.
I think out of the 3, this one was bearable.
Oh, I hated it.
Did you? I know it was all right.
Was there a very, very big kind of space battle at the beginning? Or was that the one
no,
before?
I can't remember.
The beginning is when they go to rescue Palpatine, who's seemingly been kidnapped by Count Dooku.
Oh, okay.
All I know was that this was on the same day as Liverpool beat whoever it was in Turkey for the European Cup. Same day.
Galatasaray could have
done
it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a 6-1 or something? They won't beat them.
Yeah, they were done at half time, and then Liverpool just
Milan the problem.
Do you know how many years was it between the original 3 and the prequels? How many years was there a gap? Is it 6, 7? Maybe Swappers would know this.
How many years between what? Sorry,
between the original Star Wars films and the prequels.
Well, 77 until 2005, was it?
77 and 97.
Yeah. Was that 16 years? I can't remember now.
90. So the
Arrow TJ
Return of the Jedi was
83.
83, and the first episode 1 came out in 99.
Oh, okay.
16 years.
Yeah.
16 years. And even after 16 years, when they were showing the first prequel and the reports around the world, people queuing up a day before the cinema would open their doors, people with lightsabers, people getting so excited. Do you know what I mean? That was
Brian there with his lightsaber.
That was printing money for Disney if they did it
in
right.
1999, the original cast were probably still quite fresh.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them in interviews. They still look like the characters.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame.
It is. This film was the best of the prequels. We've said it all before, God knows how many times.
Yeah,
it was the best of the three, but it was horribly rushed, unfortunately. And it featured a lot of things that should have been spread out throughout the entire trilogy, and they kind of tried to force them all into the final film. And it shows an awful lot, sadly.
Yeah.
But
in
fact,
better
than Disney. But
most of Attack of the Clones should have just been a scene.
Yeah.
And then move on. They could have spread out what they were telling in episode 3, which was actually really the core, the center of the story, was the corruption of Anakin. They could have done much more with that across multiple films.
Well, it's George Lucas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's what I think, right? I think the sequel trilogy are not very good movies with some great bits, some great parts. But I think really, if you're going to erase the Disney stuff, you should erase these as well. And if you, the prequel trilogy. And if you're going to make a prequel trilogy, just make it about the Clone Wars and have people like Obi-Wan as a sometimes side character, but not a main character. And make it about make it like the Clone Wars series. Make it about the clones, and don't have super annoying Anakin and again. Like in the Clone Wars animated series, Obi-Wan and Anakin are really annoying. Their lines are really annoying. Their existence is offensive. But if they just made it about the clones, it could be great. If they made it like a kind of gritty war movie.
I think they only needed to make one quality prequel that shows, at the beginning that Obi-Wan is, he's the master of Anakin, and then they just show what happens throughout the movie and the rift between them and how he goes to the dark side. And if they focused on one movie that does that, I think it would have been fine. I just don't. They didn't have enough for 3 movies. It feels like Lucas insisted because he wanted it to be a trilogy and he wanted all the toys and all the nonsense. Yeah. And I don't think it was necessary. One solid prequel would have been amazing.
I think there was no way to put Anakin in a movie unless you had the best writers and the best directors on the planet. There was no way to put Anakin in a movie and it not in some way spoil the menace of Vader in the original trilogy.
You know what? You would have brought Spielberg to direct it, a decent writer, Spielberg to direct, George Lucas to produce. Maybe at that moment in time, one prequel that's not crap, maybe it was possible.
That'd be good. Okay. Swappers, final comments?
Final comment, I just want to say I didn't dislike the prequels. I think they're flawed, but I mean, I'm agreeing with you that they could have been better, but go on.
Okay. Swappers?
Not really much to say, really. I like the idea of this being in 4DX. It kind of adds a new element to people that have already seen the film. But the thought of giving money to Disney just puts a really bad taste in my mouth, so I probably won't bother.
It's just paying for KK's retirement.
Basically.
Sorry, slush fund.
Is 4K is 4K the one where the sheets shake and
the sheet shake?
The seats shake and all the smoke starts coming out and the water gets. Is that?
Yeah. Don't go to an pornography movie in 4DX if you know what I mean. Okay, so this is the final of Kurt Russell Best Movie.
Skin.
Yes. So we've got 4. We're going to do a poll. Yes.
Ja.
So the first movie in the final is Escape from New York. So, Melvin, thoughts on the movie? While I type and do a poll.
Thoughts on the movie?
Yeah.
It's a good
White
movie.
should win, perhaps. Up to you,
I'm not going to argue this one should win, to be fair. This is it's what I said last time. It's one of them things that kind of shaped 80s films. When was this? 82. 82 this
sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right.
I can't remember. I'm old.
81.
Wow.
81. So yeah, this influenced a lot of films that came after it. A lot of the direct to VHS stuff that was terrible and great both at the same time. This influenced a lot of that stuff, and it's very very Judge Dredd-like as well, isn't it? I wonder if this itself was influenced by the Judge Dredd comics. But great movie. Everybody should see it. There's a lot went into this. I was watching some documentaries on this recently, and a lot went into this movie. It's like a low budget film for its time, I suppose, but a lot more went into this than goes into a lot of today's movies.
It's so 97.
With the effects and things. I mean, I can tell you some stuff about it. It was filmed mostly in St. Louis, because St. Louis had a big fire in the 1970s, and there was lots of streets that were still empty, and they couldn't film it in New York because New York had too many people. So they filmed some scenes in New York when they were out the front of like famous buildings and things, but in general, most of the scenes in the seat were filmed in St. Louis. Interesting fun fact. And also, this is one for you. There's a scene where when Snake Plissken is coming in on his glider to land, right? Yeah. And he's seeing a kind of digital picture of the city, and you got the buildings, and it's all digital, right? You got it's in like a kind of grid.
I remember that,
but the buildings are all squares. Well, they wanted to do that with computers, but at the time it was going to be too expensive. So they made it a practical effect. And what they'd done was they made a model of the city, right? And they painted it black. And then they put all of those little lines on it, all those grids on the buildings.
Oh, God.
and then they filmed it through a special lens, so all you could see was the grid. And that was easier and cheaper than doing
computers.
CGI back then.
Damn.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Okay.
And they took that model of the city and they repainted it and used it in Blade Runner. So,
top trivia.
Fun facts.
Prof, thoughts?
I like it. It's a good movie.
Expand.
Well, I can't offer anything close to what Melvin did. So, genuinely, it's been a very long time since I've seen this one. I do remember enjoying it. It was a fun movie. Yeah, you're right. I think that it did offer a lot in terms of kind of a format and an idea for a lot of the action movies that we got to see later on in the 80s and into the 90s. It's a fun movie. It's enjoyable. Again, just like Melvin, I would have a hard time saying that this would be my favorite of all of his films, but it's fun action film with some great fun performances in it.
Swaps.
I'd agree with what everyone else has said. I think I've only ever seen this once, back in whenever it was it came out.
On ITV.
Yeah,
for quite some time.
Who was the director again?
John Carpenter.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't John Carpenter then. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really did. And I think it probably stood the test of time as well. You probably look back on it now and it'd be quite cheesy. But still a really great action movie. Very, very, very influential in pop culture generally. And everything about it was awesome. It was before the kind of the trend of merchandising movies. So if this was released today, you get wall-to-wall action figures and kids' play sets and pajamas made of it and all sorts. But back then it was kind of just another action movie that came out, and it's legend because of that. Because there's so little available for it. There's so little merchandise you can find, and just to show how influential it was, the characters, like someone said in the chat, the characters have influenced so many other things like video game characters and other characters from other movies. So I think it's one of those timeless classic movies. It's always going to be regarded as a treasure among the crap. And I haven't seen the sequel. I can't comment on it whatsoever. I heard it was bad, so I never bothered watching it. But Kurt Russell, absolutely amazing in this, and one of the movies that made him who he is, as not just an action star, but generally tip-top sort of Hollywood royalty. But yeah, I loved his character in this. It was amazing, and it's difficult to choose between this one and The Thing. To be honest with you, I'll probably go for The Thing. But, this was good.
Ian.
I thought it was all right. I wasn't. I liked it, but I wasn't I wasn't enthralled by it because for me, halfway through the film, it kind of slows down and it gets really slow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but it picks up towards the ending. I did like the characters. I thought Kurt Russell was amazing as Snake.
Yeah, really good. And
all the supporting cast were great as well, especially Isaac Hayes. Thought he was terrific. It is a good film, and John Carpenter, I've been told he's a bit of an asshole. He pushed everyone on that film, and a few people actually walked from it. But that's the way he was brought up as a filmmaker. He was always on the outskirts of Hollywood. Sometimes Hollywood would embrace him, and then he'd make a film and it wouldn't make any money. And then they'll kick him out, and then they'll embrace him again. Make a film, didn't make any money, and then kick him out. So he had a love-hate relationship with Hollywood. John Carpenter.
Yeah.
But right, I must say that what John Carpenter has achieved in his career is pretty fucking amazing. From Halloween to The Thing to Escape to New York.
Movies. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like They Live and The Fog and everything. Just phenomenal.
Very, very big imagination he had. He's a really great filmmaker.
Price.
Yeah, I mean, is this something that I have to say if it's this or The Thing? Because if it's
just a paragraph about the film. We don't need to.
I kind of agree with Ian on this one. It's a good movie, and John Carpenter, I like his movies. I even like Starman. I like his movies. I just think that this isn't one that I've revisited a million times. Maybe I should. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it didn't kind of. It didn't kind of leave the impression that some of his other movies have. Like I like Halloween and The Thing more than this, and maybe even I like Starman. I don't know why. I know it's weird that I would like Starman.
Starman's a great movie.
I for some reason that movie I really it may left more of an impression on me. This is still a really good movie. It's just kind of when I compare to his other movies, I sort of don't like it as much.
Melvin, fun fact, quick.
Fun fact: did you see the movie called Lockout with Guy Pearce?
Yeah, I saw it.
Where he gets sent into the space prison
station.
to rescue the president's daughter.
Yeah, it's a rip-off of this.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
John Carpenter sued them and won.
Good, good. Because that was Luc Besson that produced that film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Okay. It was okay. Who was the star of that film?
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in it.
Okay.
I just read in the chat that Carpenter cast his wife in that movie. Was that
He did,
true?
yeah. She's in the cover. She's on the poster.
Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah, she was in The Fog as well, wasn't she? Lovely.
She was, yeah.
She was. I'll tell you something else. See, in The Thing, Adrienne Barbeau was the
She has a
voice
Knockers.
of the chess computer.
She has a Knockers. Does that bow?
She was what? She was what in The Thing? The chess computer.
Yeah, and The
Yeah.
Thing. You know when they poured the whiskey into the computer when they beat him at chess.
Yeah.
That voice was Adrienne Barbeau. John
wow,
Carpenter.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Guy Pearce is doing that as well. Anyway. Okay, so next one is Big Trouble in Little China.
Mm.
Who wants to go first? Prof?
Oh, got on mute first. Yeah, this is a really enjoyable, fun film. One of these things that like you really watch is like a cult film when you're a kid. You can't believe that this actually got made. It's like a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable. And granted, it's been a while since I've seen this. I think I need to watch this with my son. I think he would get a huge kick out of this.
I've not seen it in a long time.
But it's been quite some time since I've seen it. But it's really, really an enjoyable, fun movie. And if you haven't seen this, definitely take the time to watch it. Do I think it's one of the best films that's ever been made? No, but it's definitely a just really enjoyable watch, and it's definitely cheesy, but it's a lot of fun.
Swaps.
Yeah, how did they come up with the idea for this film?
Such a good movie.
It really is. It's just left field, isn't it? It's just not what you expect. If this was released today, everyone would go, "What the fuck is this?" And everyone would be interested straight away. The 80s was such a great period of movies like this, where you could just anything crazy would get released, and you think this looks completely different to everything else. I've got to go and see this. These days, everyone's just too concerned about playing it safe and not taking risks on anything. And this is why we don't get great movies like this made anymore. I say great movie because it's kind of stood the test of time, even though, like it's already been said, it does get cheesy and a little bit hokey. It's very a product of its time, but you can look back on it extremely fondly. It's a bit like Gremlins in that respect. It gets a bit cheesy, but it was a really good movie for its time. Very influential again as well. Mortal Kombat owes an awful lot to this film. I love the special effects in it. I love the characters. Kim Cattrall's amazing. Part of my sexual awakening. It was genuinely really, really bloody enjoyable film, even though it might not be the best film ever, but absolutely loved it.
I will say this is VHS in its purest form.
Oh, yeah.
Ian?
It was okay.
Oh, man.
No. Look. It's a good film. I enjoyed watching it, but it's not as, for me. It's not like The Thing or Halloween. I think those films, and also I don't think Carpenter wrote this. I think he was given this, wasn't he, by the studio?
Okay.
If I'm correct. So, and nobody. They had a couple of directors attached to it, but they walked, and in the end. They gave it to Carpenter in the end, and this is what Carpenter did with it. It is enjoyable and it is quite funny. You can't take anything serious in it. But I remember going to seeing it when I first saw it. I thought there was going to be some kung fu in it, but there wasn't really any kung fu in it at all. There was lightning, there were guns.
Oh, yeah, there was a bit. There was a bit.
There was a bit.
The fight in the alleyway.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be Bruce Lee style. Do you know what I mean? When I saw the poster, but it wasn't really. It was a lot of visual effects and stuff like that. It's okay. It's not a great film in my opinion, but but it's a very enjoyable movie.
Here you go, folks. Georgius Rex. See, I thought this also. The Chinese girlfriend looked better than Kim Cattrall.
Oh yeah, she was gorgeous.
Yeah,
oh my lord, yeah.
Okay, Price.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ian. I think that it's a fun, nostalgic kind of cult movie. I haven't seen it many times, and I haven't seen it in a long time. I remember thinking that it's fun, but overall, it doesn't hold a candle to movies like The Thing or Halloween. And I still like Starman even better than this, just like I like Starman better than Escape from New York.
And I really need to go back and watch Starman because I was really young when I saw that film and I didn't really appreciate it.
It's a great movie.
I really enjoy it now.
Great movie.
Well, Starman had Karen Allen in it, and she looked fucking gorgeous in that film.
Great movie.
And Jeff Bridges was good in that too.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
Melvin.
I don't think Starman is anywhere near as good as this. But that's me. This is another fantastic movie. Great action film, fantasy. It's everything. It's like pure entertainment. Pure entertainment. It didn't make any money though. That's the problem for it.
It was a flop, wasn't it?
Part of that may have been because it's a 15, which was probably because of the violence, I suppose, because there wasn't really too much adult stuff in it.
You know what, Melvin? I want to tell you something. Because I haven't watched Starman is one that I've revisited over the years. Since I haven't watched Escape from New York and Big Trouble in China in many years, I will try to rewatch them from a fresh perspective, and I'll tell you if I feel any differently.
Okay.
Okay, I can respect that.
Oh.
The Thing's a great movie.
That's an amazing movie.
Okay.
I want to go first here. I think. no, seriously.
Make him go last, Brown. He's too pushy.
Okay.
Who went first last time? Swappers.
It was
Swappers.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yes. One of my all-time favorite sci-fi horror movies. This one, right up there with Aliens and Predator and Terminator. Obviously, it's not. It was. I don't know what the budget was like on this film originally, but it looks like it should have been. Yeah, it looks like it. They spent a lot of money on it because for the time, those kind of special effects weren't easy, and Bottin did an incredible job realizing this creature. I mean, my God, the talent of the team working on this film is literally out of this.
It was all Bottin, apparently.
Yeah, mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. And then the not the remake, but the kind of prequel that came out a few years back, absolute garbage compared to this. With the effects all CG and they're all practical in this. And you can
they were going to be practical, but they got sideswiped.
I know, awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah,
and it just goes to show how timeless practical effects can be when you go back and watch this, and it's still believable now when you see it. It still grosses you out. It still look real. As fantastical as they are, they still look real.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the film is the bit with the dogs, and I'll always fast forward that bit. But apart from that, the movie, absolutely incredible. I love the paranoia aspect of the film. Added something that we just never seen before at this level in a film. And that combined with the realism of the effects and the awesome acting in it, and I wouldn't say originality of the story, but the original way it was presented blew my socks off when I saw it. I think I was only about 12. We probably saw it at the same time on ITV.
On ITV, yeah.
Part of Palpatine's craft season, yeah.
Incredible.
And I was probably too young to watch it because I felt a bit ill afterwards, but then I couldn't stop thinking about it afterwards and just remember
how CPR scene,
how awesome it was. Yeah, the surprising nature of all these set pieces all the way through. Yeah. You're thinking, what the hell is going to happen next? You have to keep watching because you cannot tell what's going to happen, and what new incredibly imaginative shape the alien's going to take. And in that respect, it was so original and so brilliantly realized, and will always be one of my favorites, no matter what. And I think Carpenter might have peaked at this point with all his movies because it's just the thing I always remember.
It was the team. I think it was the team. This was a collective effort of everybody being.
Oh, it was. When you see, if you watch the behind the scenes, you can see how much of what everyone did on this. And my God, was it lightning in a bottle? This film, just incredible job, and no movie can touch this these days.
Okay. Ian,
sorry, what's that? What do you want me? Oh, so okay. I went to see this in the cinema. Okay, I'm a lot older than you guys. I went to see it when it was released, and I got to admit, I did feel a bit sick when I came out. but it was one of those films that that changed the course of makeup effects. I know, but lots of behind the scenes about this stuff. Botin almost freaking died. He was up 24/7. He didn't get any sleep doing. He had to do most of the makeup and stuff like that. So, and I do know one thing. I know that John Carpenter doesn't have a shot list, nor does he have any storyboards. He shoots as he he shoots and he edits it in his head and he shoots what he can for this film. Yeah, for this film. There was a lot of problems with this film, especially with the snow and stuff. But all I can say is I enjoy this film immensely. It's become a classic now. Again, Carpenter was a bit of an asshole with Hollywood. If he wasn't a bit of an asshole, he would have probably made more films. But he seems to have his film finger on the pulse, and he's always making films that wasn't for that time when he made them. Obvious that this film wasn't supposed to be out at that time.
Blade Runner,
it made no money. Yeah, it
Star
made
Trek
no
2,
money. Yeah.
So E.T.
Yeah, exactly. So
what a year!
And now, I always say this: anything that's good will always get discovered.
Yeah.
Always, and this is a prime example.
I think it was VHS that made this the hit. Price.
Yeah. This is I agree, ahead of its time, and holds up until today as just a fantastic movie. This is probably John Carpenter's best movie, best film. Maybe second place I'd give Halloween, but this I think is number one.
Melvin?
Okay, it is my opinion as well. It is John Carpenter's best movie. He made 5 films with Kurt Russell. I think the first one was Elvis. The movie. Remember that?
That was good. That's a TV movie. It was really good.
Yeah, and this is an amazing film, and it wouldn't have had the same impact without the effects. I think Rob Bottin done a miraculous job because it was inventing all that stuff as he was going along, because it hadn't been done before. And what Mega Geek said was right. He did almost die. He got double pneumonia and ended up in hospital with exhaustion and double pneumonia.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was only 22, Rob Bottin, when he did this.
Yeah.
Only 22 years old.
That still blows me away now.
Yeah. And, well, fun fact as well. So Rob Bottin done all of the effects and the practical effects and the creatures and things, except for the dog for the kennel scene.
Oh, okay.
Because he was in hospital. So they got legend Stan Winston in to do the dog. So everything was Rob Bottin except for the dog, which was Stan Winston. And that dog was a puppet.
It's a puppet.
It's a puppet. And Stan Winston wouldn't take a credit for it. They said that it should all go to Rob Bottin.
Wow, didn't know that.
Jeez.
But
sorry.
Yeah, fantastic movie. This is like, you know what it reminds me of? It's like if the Coen brothers made a sci-fi, But I don't know. Maybe I sound insane. It reminds me of No Country for Old Men. Just like
insane, mate.
Very slow burn, but never dull for a
second.
second.
I see your point. Prof?
Yeah, stellar film. Just the level of horror, the psychological horror, the body horror, everything that you get with the practical effects for the creatures. This film did not get the appreciation it deserved when it originally came out. It was a flop. I think it cost $15 million. The box office was barely 20. But in the end, people discovered it. They found it, and today it's very much appreciated as being a real classic of this genre and one of Carpenter's best films. It really is. Very, very enjoyable every time, even knowing where it's going, knowing where things are going to end up, who the thing is, and everything like that. It's still, it grabs you. It's creepy and disturbing. It is, everything you would want this kind of a thriller horror type film to be. It's great.
I will say, folks, if you ever get the chance to see this on a reissue on a modern screen, it's incredible. It still looks incredible. I think they showed it a couple of years ago at Cineworld on the new screens.
The critics' biggest criticism of the film is none of the characters had any characterization. They were all flat, and the effects were disgusting and had no place to be on screen. That was most of what the critics said about.
They got a lot of criticism for the gore, which is named Siskel and Ebert, whatever.
But that was just
they hated it.
Way ahead of its time.
They said it was evil. It was, it was disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed. But, it is a great movie. It's a terrific movie.
Yeah. Can I just add as well, Brown? Can I just add on the end of that? I'll just highlight, if no one knows this already, the Dark Horse comics that came out in the 90s did a direct sequel to this movie because there was no movie sequel, and it is incredible. Still, absolutely mind-blowingly great painted artwork. I think there's only 2 issues, but it is an absolute wonderful direct continuation of this film and one of the best things I've ever read in any comic form. So if anyone wants a copy, DM me, message me, let me know, because I've got it all in digital. So
there you go, folks.
Do you know what, right? I'd just like to say one more thing about this film, and I don't know if you guys notice about this film. After all the special effects and the gory stuff and everything, do you know what really unnerved me when I saw this in the cinema? It wasn't the effects. And
the usherette.
Cutting the thumbs.
No, it wasn't any of that. It was when the dog had stopped and it sat down, right? And there's this...
And just looking.
No, shut up. And then there was just no sound, and it was just the wind. And the dog was just still. That scared the shit out of me when I was in the cinema. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an effect. It was just that dog being really still. It's just eerie. The whole thing is eerie.
Damn.
It was one of them super intelligent dogs. It was half wolf, and it was really smart, and they trained it to do that. And it was apparently everybody on the set was very impressed with that dog because it was like as smart as people.
Yeah.
Amazing how it's split in 2. Anyway, that's the thing, everybody.
It took a lot of concentration for it to split in 2 like that.
Yeah, it did a great job.
Tombstone. Great movie. I'll be a Huckleberry. I have a cousin in the States that she has She has this on VHS. She has it on DVD. She has it on Blu-ray. Now she has it in 4K. She loves this film, and I remember going to her house. We saw it twice in 1 week. Honestly, this film is a really good, enjoyable, comic book nonsense. It really is fantastic. I love every moment of this film. Kurt Russell was extremely great in this film, and so was what's his name, Val Kilmer. Honestly, if you ever get a chance to watch Tombstone, watch it. It's a good movie.
Price?
Yes.
Hello.
He hasn't seen it.
You're all right there, mate.
No. This is a good movie.
Expand.
I've only seen it once, and again, it was a very long time. I feel like people have a much stronger connection to it than I do. I thought it was good, but it's not one of those. It's a good movie, and I like the performances. I like Val Kilmer in it also. I like what happens here, but I guess it's just not at the forefront of movies for me. That's the best I can say. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah. Melvin?
It's I'm not going to say it's one of Kurt Russell's best movies, but it's, well, Westerns they come and go in popularity, don't they? You go through phases where you get loads and then you don't get any and then you get loads. And they're usually, when they make a comeback, they're led by 1 or 2 really good ones. And this was one of the ones that kind of brought back the Western for a while, didn't it? This and the Kevin Costner one, which was White Up. But this is a really solid movie. Good action movie, good story. No, quite exactly true to life.
It?
Kurt Russell directed most of it, apparently. I think that's just come out recently.
Okay.
George Cosmatos apparently was a director.
But he wasn't doing a good job. The first director got fired, didn't he? And then they got him in.
I didn't know.
And he wasn't doing a good job. And apparently Kurt Russell took over and directed most of it. seen documentaries, and that's what they're saying. But
the real story of Wyatt Earp was though that he was an evil bastard, and that's how he was successful as a lawman, because he was worse than the criminals. And they make him out to be this good guy with morals and scruples and things, and he was really nothing of the kind. He was just really a kind of lowlife who happened to be the sheriff.
Yeah.
And I suppose the standout thing about this movie was Val Kilmer's performance as Doc Holliday.
Yep, he's great.
I don't think I've seen this, or if I've snippets, or if I was watching it, I wasn't paying any attention. Do I need to visit this film?
I
like westerns.
It's really enjoyable. It's nothing. It's it's not one of the best westerns ever made, but it's very enjoyable. You know, it's it's like a good action film. I think it's worth your time. Put it that way.
I will say, folks, 105 watching, 42 votes. Come on, folks, get voting, please. Vote for your favourite to win. Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing, Tombstone.
Great cast this movie had, Tombstone, as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic cast. There must have been like about 20 names in it.
Moustache galore.
They all have moustaches, even the women.
Yeah.
Prof?
Yeah, it's a really enjoyable film. I haven't seen it in quite some time, but as westerns go, it's a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable story with some fun performances in it. It's got Sam Elliott in there. It had Val Kilmer. It kind of a strange role for him, honestly, but it worked really well. Had Bill Paxton in it. Michael Biehn was in it. This is a really enjoyable film. I wouldn't put it anywhere near the top of Kurt Russell's filmography, but it is really a very enjoyable movie.
Swappers?
Might shock a lot of people, but I have never seen this film.
That's all right. Doesn't shock me.
Everyone else seems to have seen it except me. I don't really like westerns, to be honest with you, so I've kind of just passed me by. But after what everyone said about it, I kind of feel like I'm missing out, so I may have to visit this one.
It's enjoyable. If you're not into westerns, that's understandable, but it is an enjoyable movie. And honestly, I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater. So
yeah, this is another one of those movies that I saw it a very long time ago, and it's not like I see it every minute. I remember thinking it's a good movie, but the fact that I don't revisit it and it's not in that kind of place for me, that means that it's maybe some people it speaks to them more than it speaks to me, but it is a good movie.
Okay. Get voting, peeps.
It had Charlton Heston in it as well.
Good.
Stream killer.
Okay, so vote for your favourite to win. Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing, Tombstone. That's vote for your favourite Kurt Russell film. Okay, so we'll let that run for a moment. We'll do and finally, because there was a couple more, and finale. There was a couple more slides, but I'm going to save them for Sunday. So, in fact, yes. Sorry, forgive me. Melvin, are you available to read a super chat, please? Nearly forgot. Sorry, Flav.
I can fake being able to understand English briefly. Super chat for 5 British poundies from Flav Wrenched. Okay,
World
here we
of
go.
Sports, yeah.
World of Sports. Zorro, I don't know. My girlfriend dumped me last week, so I stole her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back? Ba-dum tish.
Is here all week. Thank you, my friend. Okay. So
Flav, my brother in arms, bitches need to know their place.
Dear.
Okay, and finally, this popped up on the feed yesterday or today. I can't remember. Dr. Watts. Dr. Watts season 2 will officially premiere on April 12. BBC iPlayer and Disney.
That
The
girl.
only thing this show had going for it, and I use that very loosely because it really didn't have anything going for it, was that Millie Gibson was somewhat pleasant. And even
Yes.
that they couldn't hold on to for some reason.
Look at the girl they've got now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't know
She's
how to navigate this thing. I'm thinking some things, and I want to say them in a way that's, politically correct. First of all, I think that Millie Gibson looks more pleasant than this young lady.
You said that, yes.
That's just my personal opinion. In addition, what this lady? She was in that Andor thing as like
was that her? Oh, okay.
She was like an LG woman that there was nothing about her in that show that I looked at her and I thought to myself, wow, if I could only, I want to see more of her. I really, if anything, the other one, I don't remember her name, the Adrian or Juna or whatever her name is, at least her, even though they made her look shabby, you could tell that in reality she looks nice. Her, they made look shabby, this actress, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think much of her while I was watching it or even later. I've never thought about her again until they suddenly put her in Doctor Who.
The reason why they put her in Doctor Who because she's a woman of color. There's no other reason.
Martha was a woman of color, but she looked very pretty. This lady here is a woman of color. I'm not saying, I'm sure she's fine, but like, I say this also, people are like, well, what do you look like? You know what? Nobody's paying me a ton of money to be on some kind of high profile show that, potentially millions of people, or in this case, 3 people are going to watch, but millions of people are supposed to watch. If that were the case, it's not the case. It just wouldn't happen. So I understand it. I recognize who I am, but if you're going to put people on the screen, they have to be, Yeah,
it still counts. People like looking at good-looking people on screen because they fantasize about them being in that position.
Is that why we're all avatars?
Yeah,
more
or less.
I will say this, that I think Price is right. That we shouldn't judge people on our looks if we're no oil paintings. However, I look fucking amazing. He's no oil painting. So I can judge, right? And Brown, can I use the C word on the stream?
No.
Okay, well,
because
I'll word it differently.
Brown is very well.
Brown is a C word for keep it on bringing back Shooty.
Yeah,
this will be the last time until
you said that last time.
Yeah, but I can't help it if there's an announcement.
Look, but the thing is, though, Doctor Who's dead, and people like discussing films shouldn't be advertising something that's literally destroyed a show that millions around the world loved. You're just giving it more attention.
I seen something online a week or 2 ago where one of these stupid fucking weirdos was bitching about, well, these are the same people who didn't like Mickey or Martha. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? Everybody liked Mickey and Martha.
Yeah,
everybody liked Martha, certainly, right?
Yeah. Billy Potts, even she was all right.
Yeah, I liked Potts. Apart from her keeps reminding us that she was gay.
Yeah. It would have been far better if they didn't do that. Yeah.
I have a thought. If let's say they made a romantic comedy, okay, Sydney Sweeney, she has a love interest, and they decide for some reason to cast me in it. If I'm in this movie and somebody's sitting in the audience watching this and saying, well, we like Sydney Sweeney, she looks great, and then they look at me and they say, what's this middle-aged fatso doing in the movie? I would say I agree with you. I would understand. That's what I would think. You know what I'm saying?
No, they'd say, who's this guy with the crocheted face? This doesn't look real.
Right.
I think his voice.
Who's this orange puppet?
But
whatever they say is going to be correct, and I will be the first person to agree with them. But the thing is that that's not what's happening on these shows. They just cast people that are just, well, they look like everyday people. Yeah, that's not what we need here. We need the ones that are like not everyday, that will blow us away, that they're so like stunning and whatever women. Yeah. That's what you need.
It's like, have you ever seen oh god, what's that film called with Nicolas Cage where he played Dracula? Renfield?
Yes, I saw that.
And the main guy in it, what's his name? he was in Juror number 2. What's the main star in?
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt, right? His girlfriend is
Aquafina.
Yes.
And
it's like,
fuck.
You know how good looking he is, and then he likes this girl. I'm sorry,
it's
but
not
that doesn't
believable.
compute. It's
Yeah.
not
She doesn't-
believable, even a fantasy. Still, you know.
I
Does
wouldn't
she
say he's
actually
good
like
looking,
men?
but compared to Aquafina, God.
I don't know if she does, but what I'm
Does
saying
Aquafina
is
even like men? I know this is
I don't
a.
know.
I'm not saying she doesn't like men. I'm saying that if it turned out that she didn't like men, it wouldn't shock me.
I would say it doesn't matter if she likes men because she's going home alone.
but what I'm saying is that illustrates what Price is saying, because Hollywood is doing that now. They're saying that there's no room for good-looking people, which is bollocks, really, because you go to see films because you want to be taken away from your ordinary crappy life, and to see good-looking people on screen is part of that. It's part of that.
Yeah.
So
I will say something I've said before on this, is that movie stars should look like movie stars. They shouldn't look like ugly
Exactly.
fuckers.
Yep. I liked the pink logo, Ian. Do you like that?
they can go and fuck themselves. Sorry, mate. Seriously.
It looks fabulous in all the bad ways.
This is not Doctor Who. I don't
Dr.
know what
Wax.
they're talking about here.
I love Ian. I just love like what you said when you went to the cinema and you told it to them straight when they asked you. Oh, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, go on, tell us the story again.
What? You know it. When I
Yeah, well, for the new
Captain
people, there's
America,
91 people. Oh, yeah,
So,
Captain
like-
America.
I said that they, you know, I said to them, look, you start. In other words, I said, you know, you're turning a boys' brand into a female brand, and they just laughed really rigidly, and they looked away from me. And I walked into the cinema. That's what they did. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Who?
ridiculous, right? So
Who?
I had to do when I was going to see that film. There were 5 people from Marvel, and they wanted me to do a survey. They were giving surveys out, but they cornered me because I guess there was families
'Cause
with
you're ticking
children
the
going
boxes
in.
as
And I
well.
was me and my niece were the only ones. So they just kind of cornered us, and even my niece was looking them up and down. You know, and there were 5 people, and they were all diverse. There wasn't one white person within those 5
Shit,
people
Utter
at all.
shit.
So it was ridiculous.
Okay.
Absolutely
then.
ridiculous.
What a load of old bollocks. Okay, so we're gonna do the poll, everybody. I don't think it's gonna make any difference. I might as well just
Is it the ting?
unless if we have a spurge of 40 people voting in the next 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll is closing. Poll is closing. Poll closed. And it's popped up straight away. Okay, so Poll complete, 55 votes. 4th place, Tombstone, 7%. 3rd place, Escape from New York, 9%. Runner up, great movie, Big Trouble in Little China, 21%. And the winner of Best Kurt Russell movie, what a surprise, that Thing, The Thing, 61%. Is that a fair result, folks?
It's accurate, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So worthy, yeah, 98%. Fuck. Where does the 2% disappear to?
Well, people are on and they're gone, I guess. I don't know.
Cheers, Franco. Okay, I'm thinking that is it.
That is it, everybody.
I think. Shall I possibly just? So the winner. There you go, folks. I'll put the thing up as well. There you go. Oh, sorry. Chat moved up. Sorry. Here we go. So those are the results for the people on the re-rub. Tombstone 7%, Escape from New York 9%, Big Trouble in Little China 21%, and the winner, the Thing 61%. So That is it, folks. That is it. That is it. That is it. Let me do the slides. Here we go. TBA 56. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for turning up, listening to these old bastards talking about KK. Far too much about KK. God, nearly 1.5 hours talking about KK. Jesus.
We ate her.
Yeah. Platoon somewhere. Oh, sorry, chat keeps moving up. I'm trying to press it. I'm boomering. Is playing Gollum, whatever that is. Wherever that is.
Does that guy go to sleep?
No.
He doesn't go to sleep, does he?
Only when he gets an invite to come on here. Okay. I will thank the guest. We'll do Skeleton Crew at some point, don't worry. Swappity. Cheers, Swaps.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Good chatting to everybody here on the panel. It's a pleasure to sit here and have a chat to everybody, and to also the chat. You're always great and very, very entertaining when we're not. So appreciate you.
Yeah,
good show, Brown. Thanks for the invite.
Amazing tonight. There's a link to Plutes. Tell him Mr. Brown says hello. Or tell him Mr. Brown sent you. Mega Geek, cheers in.
No worries.
Price of Reason. Cooking tonight, my friend.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's been... You and Ian have just... brilliant.
I haven't done anything. I just said what's on my mind, as always.
Same.
You were cooking between you. Professor R2.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Stop pointing that thing at me, R2. You're scaring me.
Sir Deeply of the Melvinshire.
Nee bother, Brune. I have a couple of things. On Friday,
you're plugging,
I should be on Northern English Bastard stream talking about Judge Dredd, the Sylvester Stallone one.
Nice.
So Friday, I think it starts about 7 p.m. UK time.
Ooh.
And I have yet another, right, fun fact for you. Brace yourselves. Remember in Escape from New York when he meets the woman and she says, Snake Plissken, I heard you were dead.
Mm.
That was his wife at the time.
Yep.
Damn.
She was also in Swamp Thing as well.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That is it, folks. We're back at the weekend. Say hello to Plutes for me. Take care, everybody.
Ta-da.
Cheerio.
Timing.